And then we get uppity and we move off and go to church in town. And the little church in the country goes to the Ladybugs. You see them up there. It's Dorrance Cove Church, opposite Russell Cave. Out that window in that cemetery lies heroes of the Revolution, the Indian Wars, War of 1812, and others. We make quilts. Once again, it's my slideshow. That was made in the 50s to raise money to build the Edgefield Union Church. Those are my parents, my sister, their names. This is now in the Stevenson Depot Museum. It is like reading a history book of that community in that day. Where's my name? Well, Brenda's 12 years older than I. We didn't have a little John. Y'all know I used to be called Little John, by the way. I sort of like that. I might want to go back to that. Methodist Church at Langston, when our group visited several years ago. How many of you in that picture? There's a bunch of you there in that picture. Good. Various church seats from around the county. Old, new, some gone, some still there. I call this the White House Church. It's up on Big Coon out in Stevenson. It's pretty unusual architecture for our part of the world. Look at the Capitol there on that column. And there's 4 of them. Beautiful windows and woodwork. And the day I took these pictures, I broke in. I think in my business they call that, what degree of felony is that, Justin? Is that Class C felony?
I think so.
A year and a day, 10 years, $15,000 fine, something like that. This was the Lord. Attendance today, 12. Attendance last Sunday, 15. Collection today, 265. Pretty good. Father Dex, we don't hit that at St. Luke's every Sunday, do we? Collection last Sunday, 71. So it's not always good to have a big crowd, necessarily. Kind of pitiful in a way, but in another way, it's not pitiful at all. They're functioning, it's serving the purpose, and the congregation's active. Like Scottsburger, they go by senior. It's our culture, ladies and gentlemen. I've got 2 books written about the infamous snake handling preacher case. This one was a National Book Award finalist. This one's written from Lynn Summerford's perspective. And there's a song I'm going to play you a snippet of called Signs Following by Kate Campbell. Who's got Kate Campbell on their iPod? Play? No? Darn. Listen for the rattlesnake rattle. The judge said 99 to life. Listen to that.
He forced her hand into the rattler's cage. Domestic violence with a holy rage. Reach down, pick up, have faith, live right. If you believe, signs following, snake will have bite.
That's an article from Birmingham News, 1998. The Reverend John Wayne Hookins Brown Jr. died Saturday night while having a 4-foot timber rattlesnake during a sermon in Macedonia. 1931. Scottsboro boys arrested March 25th, 1931. Pardoned November 21st, 2013. There's their names. We hear about them a lot, but we've never seen their names. There's the historic marker on the courthouse lawn, put up by your Jackson County Historical Association and others. Two fine ladies, not of the community. Caroline, is that Dr. Lynch? Leibowitz, Vice Defense Attorney. This is when it was sent back from the Supreme Court, the second or third time, and they said you have to have a black man on the grand jury. So we folks that hang out in your courthouse, we put us a black man on the grand jury. We segregated him off up here by himself. We wouldn't let him hang out with all of us down here. You said, you stand up there, and you'll be on our grand jury. I found his name yesterday. I didn't know it. Creed Conyer. Said to be the first black person since Reconstruction to serve on an Alabama grand jury. Whatever you think about it, I think Lloyd Campbell, the late, great Lloyd Campbell, summed it up pretty well. We arrested them, indicted them, tried them, convicted them, and sentenced them to death, all in about 2 weeks' time. I can see how folks would be upset about that. We're fixing to trim some trees on the courthouse lawn. I put this on there to show you it's not the first time they've been trimmed before you lawyers sue us. Great Jackson County pastime, mostly gone to the wayside, sitting on the courthouse square with them. George Wallace came to visit one of our mills and the ladies. Now here's an Alabama treasure, a Jackson County treasure, and his trinity, Elvis, Jesus, and Lee. I believe the artist is in the house, is he not? Dr. Broadway, where are you? Clyde will tell you he doesn't have a doctorate, but I've always called him Dr. Broadway, and he got some award several years ago, and I commented on it on the internet and referred to him as Dr. Broadway. Every commenter after that called him Dr. Broadway. I've never been prouder of anything in my life than the only doctorate I've ever given out. Clyde. Old scenes from Scottsboro. Another one. Great Jackson County scene. Economic boom. Look how skinny they are. Boy, there's chickens down there. That's Chuck Phillips, I think. I'm sure. Another great Jackson County, Babs Deal, well-respected author, won many awards, wrote many books. Carly Button, you got to suffer through one more piece of music, ladies and gentlemen. I can find it over here. Great songwriter, think about that.
And down the road I look, and there runs Mary. There I go, and lives like Terry's.
I'm gonna sing it, y'all know it.
Green, green grass.
Judge Gray,
Man,
may I interrupt one moment?
yeah, I know I'm running late. You ready to start the birthday cake?
No. How many of you would like for the Jackson County Commission to declare the green, green grass of home as Jackson County's song? That request has been relayed, and so let's get to work on it. Every time you see a Jackson County Commission member, remind them we're waiting for the vote. Thank you, Judge Gray.
That's called contempt of court, Mrs. Chandler. 5 days across the road, I may get you. Carly Button, among other things, wrote D-I-V-O-R-C-E. He stopped loving her today. Just on and on. It's a cheating situation, so forth and so on. We think of that one song, and he's got many, many, many #1 hits. Come on, Mountain Boys. Cash King, you may know him. Who's got him on their iPods? And this is his grandson playing for our association several years ago out at Fiskin Gorge. But he had a number of songs and was a pretty well-known songwriter in the 40s. But I love this song. I want y'all to listen to the words very carefully. It's near and dear to my heart. And there it is. Once again, it's my slideshow.
The judge gave her my money.
Judge gave her my money.
He gave her my card. She dropped the Young men take warning. You can't ever tell. I'm looking at the world in a cheap motel.
Look at 4 walls of cheap motel. This is his grandson. He had occasion to call my office a couple of years ago, and he was trying to explain who he was and how I would know him. And he finally said in frustration to my, secretary, he'll know who I am. His wife got me to sing for them several years ago. Now, I think Ann's got a case of defamation of character. The Rock Zoo, greatest tourist attraction known to man, right here in Jackson County. This is not believed to be one of the Rock Zoo exhibits right here. Out beyond the Bible store, if you haven't been there, you need to go today before it rains. Another Jackson County wonder. Dr. Bradford, this is the infamous Michael cheeseburger you've heard so much about. If you eat enough of them, you can take a one-way helicopter ride to Huntsville Hospital. And isn't this the saddest sight you've ever seen? Right there. That's a beautiful thing. My wife raised those tomatoes, bless her heart. Bo Lloyd's here. Bo, where are you? We need Lloyd's Dairy back, please. More wonders in Jackson County. Great things in this county. Wonderful things in this county. Now, if that's not a Jackson County treasure, I'd like to know what is. Ladies and gentlemen, I know my rights, and I'm not answering any questions about this spring water. Band on the courthouse porch. Those 4 window panes are the only thing in the present courthouse that are from the original courthouse. Is that right, Ann?
Correct.
Above the north door. We don't have time, ladies and gentlemen. We got stuff to do. Such as go hunting. I love a sign. I take pictures of signs. Y'all know where that is? It's Hammers in the changing room. And I'm not making fun of them, and I'm not criticizing them. Obviously, some idiot has got down and crawled under the door at some point and probably sued them over it when they got stuck. Sundays, 8, 9:30, Wednesdays, 11:45. Why use an E when you can use an A? I mean, I think A is an underused letter.
The sign has been changed.
Yes, the Roach Cemetery, that sign's no longer there. But look at this one. Now, this is at one of our fine establishments in downtown Stevenson, Alabama. A class establishment. They are faithful. They are health conscious. And they are mannerly. Books written by members of this association. Stylish baseball team. More Faith right there in front of Smith Chevy in downtown Stevenson. First Monday. Buying Angela's birthday present last year. Fashionable young group in Hollywood in 1907, the real Hollywood. Stevenson High football team, 1930. That is Gene Henninger, Jen's daddy. I sent this picture to Jen's son, Gene's grandson, my cousin, recently, and he wrote back, and this is a little off color, and I apologize to you, but those Hennigers, they ain't got no raisin at all. He said, I've always wanted a picture of my granddad's football team, the Stevenson Blackhawks. Rooster over there. There's the principal. There's some kids in the window. That's my dad right there also. That is a fully inflated football, ladies and gentlemen. Cousin Jean's wife, my cousin Betty Ruth, she's here. Betty Ruth, you still back there? Give a little shout out there. The posse. Johnny Daniel Beecher Kelly. And once again, look how skinny this boy is. Sacred Heart Singing. It's up at Liberty Church, you know, on the Sand Mountain. You know, they were on the Oscars a number of years ago. Cold Mountain, they did the soundtrack for Cold Mountain. That, little bit of music there. I'll get y'all out of here. The end is near, I promise. Y'all may recognize a number of these people. This is Ricky Harcrow, who's president of the DeKalb County Commission. And a Primitive Baptist preacher. Those with the Sacred Heart Singing, and then leave the music out like that. Of the Sacred Heart. A lot of our hymns today were sang on in the church this morning. That's from Southern Harmony, 1835. We did not sing the notes, however. We sang the words. This book was written by Marcus Lafayette Swan and his dad. It is still used in New Hartford, Columbia. He lived at Bellefonte and is buried at Bellefonte. That's the scale. A man is viewed as a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. Scenes from around the county. Mary Hunter Avenue, namesake.